Warning, this video contains spoilers for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I need someone to explain to me how, in the year 2022, after almost 15 years of Marvel movies, people are still leaving the theater before the credits roll. The Marvel Cinematic Universe's post-credit scenes are famous for introducing seemingly minor new characters who will eventually become major players down the line. The latest example of this is Clea, a major character from the comics who cut her way into our reality at the end of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Before she inevitably becomes an important figure on the MCU's mystical side, let's break down her powers and figure out just what Clea is capable of. Stephen Strange may currently be the MCU's most powerful sorcerer, but there's a good chance that Clea may end up overtaking him. In the comics, she started out as Strange's apprentice, and before long her skills equaled his, to the point where she ended up being crowned as the Sorcerer Supreme of the Dark Dimension. Like the other great sorcerers of the Marvel Universe, Clea is a master at harnessing and using magical energy. When Strange first met her, she was already naturally gifted at performing magic, but after training with him, her skills increased exponentially. One of her primary offensive capabilities is the use of energy bolts, an ability we've seen characters like Strange and Wong use several times previously. However, unlike them, Clea is able to draw power from both our universe and the Dark Dimension. This fact considerably increases the strength of her energy blasts, while at the same time also making them much more dangerous thanks to the potential influence of Dormammu.
Dormammu, I've come to bargain.
While Clea is incredibly skilled with using magic in battle, she's also able to harness that same power and use it defensively. This comes in the form of energy shields, similar to the ones used by the Masters of the Mystic Arts. The creation of these shields is one of Doctor Strange's most commonly used abilities, and they've been shown to be incredibly strong throughout his appearances in the MCU, to the point where they've been able to deflect missiles from Thanos' warship and even Dormammu's energy blasts. They can also be used for more than just defense, as we saw when Strange used his shield to cut that bus in half in Multiverse of Madness. Considering how prominent these energy shields are in Doctor Strange's magical toolkit, it's safe to assume that the MCU's Clea has a similar ability. Granted, she's only appeared for like 30 seconds, so it's a little hard to tell, but what we have seen of her suggests that she's incredibly powerful. It would make sense for her to have similar abilities to Strange, including energy shields of her very own, and I'd love to see the two of them fight so we can prove once and for all whose shields are stronger. No matter what though, none of their shields could withstand the crushing force of the Big Wheel. Just saying. I've mentioned this a few times so far in this video, but one of the most important things to know about Clea is the fact that she actually originates from the Dark Dimension. You know, that terrible, scary place ruled by Dormammu where Doctor Strange died like 8 bajillion times. Speaking of which, where was she during that? My guy probably could have used a hand there. The primary species that lives within the Dark Dimension are the Faltine, a race of incredibly powerful magical beings whose numbers include Clea and Dormammu himself. However, Clea is a bit of an outlier in that she's only half Faltine, with the other half being human. This allows her to continue accessing her Faltine powers and using magic from the Dark Dimension, while preventing her from being completely overtaken by Dormammu's influence. The Faltine are beings made of fire, and as a result of this, Clea is able to access and use their flames. Doctor Strange has conjured the flames of Faltine several times in the past, using a magic incantation, but Clea is actually able to control the flames without having to cast a single spell, thanks to her half-human, half-Faltine physiology. Being able to innately summon the flames of Faltine is definitely one of Clea's strongest abilities, and it really helps to demonstrate just how powerful she truly is when not even Doctor Strange is able to do it. While she may not use any incantations to summon the flames of Faltine, make no mistake, Clea is no slouch when it comes to using spells. Thanks to her training with Strange, along with her natural magical talent, Clea is able to cast tons of different spells. These include Weaver Magic, which allows the user to enchant an item like the Cloak of Levitation, and the ability to magically conjure and control both inanimate and animate objects. Using these spells, and several others, Clea is able to call upon various extra-dimensional entities and channel their powers, while her half-human, half-Faltinian biology also allows her to safely cast spells from the Dark Dimension. Did you hear that, Ancient One? I said safely.
It's not about you.
You know, on second thought, I should probably watch what I say about the Ancient One. If I'm not careful, she might just punch me out of my body, right into the astral plane. Speaking of which, Astral Projection is yet another power of Clea's. As we've seen with Doctor Strange and the Ancient One, the most powerful sorcerers can leave their body and move through the world in an astral form, and Clea is no exception. While in this form, she can move at the speed of thought and access a number of powerful abilities exclusive to the astral plane, such as sensing other people's astral forms, using good spirits to power herself up, and even traveling through the time stream. Thanks to her close bond with Doctor Strange, there's also been times where the two of them have combined their abilities to increase their mystic power while astral projecting. One of the most memorable moments from the first Doctor Strange was Stephen's fight with Caecilius' zealots on the astral plane, and it would be really fun to see him return there with Clea to show us what other kinds of shenanigans these master sorcerers could get up to. In addition to being an incredibly skilled sorcerer, Clea is also a powerful telepath. While she may not quite be on the level of someone like Professor X or Jean Grey, she can still do some really cool stuff, especially while she's astral projecting. Since she's, not restricted by a physical body in her astral form, she's able to travel directly into people's minds thanks to a specialized form of telepathy called Thoughtcasting. Clea is one of the only characters in the entire Marvel universe to be able to Thoughtcast, and she uses this skill in a number of ways. Like I've mentioned previously in this video, Clea and Doctor Strange are incredibly close, and the two of them communicate telepathically fairly often. The fact that they're able to literally enter each other's brains through her thoughtcasting allows them to better understand each other, and this ability also gives Clea an advantage on the battlefield. Similarly to Scarlet Witch, she can enter people's minds and plant telepathic suggestions, as well as alter their memories and even see if they're lying or telling the truth about something. In addition to all this, Clea can even create telepathic force fields to prevent her mind from being invaded by unwanted intruders. She's got so many psychic powers. It's like if you took Doctor Strange, Scarlet Witch, and Violet from The Incredibles and put them all in a blender. Besides having a pretty cool outfit, we only really know one thing about the Marvel Cinematic Universe's Clea, and it's that she can travel between our Earth, nope, I'm not calling it 616, and the Dark Dimension. In Multiverse of Madness' mid-credit scene, we saw her literally slice open a portal to Dormammu's realm using some kind of magical blade. As of right now, we don't know if she can travel anywhere else, but considering the fact that her comic book incarnation can teleport pretty much anywhere she wants, it seems likely. Additionally, we don't know if this mysterious magical blade is Clea's only method of teleportation. As we've seen previously, the masters of the mystic arts use sling rings to get around, and those little pieces of jewelry have brought us some of the most exciting moments in the entire MCU. If it turns out that the sword truly is the only way she can go between dimensions, then it would be a cool contrast between the small unsuspecting sling rings, which create nice little orange portals, and the blade, which aggressively cuts through the fabric of reality with a purple glow. You know what they say, you can tell a lot about a sorcerer by their portals. Okay, well, no one says that, but I think it could catch on. This one's a bit less prominent than some of Clea's other powers, but it's still worth noting. Along with all of her telepathic and magical powers, Clea also has the ability to rearrange molecules. Sometimes this manifests itself in something as simple as a quick costume change, but if used offensively, this ability makes its user incredibly dangerous. Let's take the Molecule Man, a recurring Fantastic Four villain with the same power. Despite the fact that he's like a C-lister at best, his power has almost destroyed the world several times, to the point where Uatu the Watcher even had to intervene to prevent Earth from being wiped out. That kind of power is not something to be taken lightly, so we'd best hope Clea continues to stay as Doctor Strange's ally in the MCU. I would be particularly interested to see this power in action in the Dark Dimension, and it would be a visual treat to see this unique ability interacting with the realm's bizarre landscapes. This power could also help her and Strange to combat the incursion that was apparently caused by the events of Multiverse of Madness. Though I will say, I don't think anyone would lose any sleep over the Dark Dimension of all places being destroyed. Is that messed up of me to say? They got a giant homicidal angry face. It's scary over there. And now we come to the final entry on our list, which is admittedly less of a power and more one of those classic hero temporarily turns evil situations. In 1978's Marvel Team-Up issues 76 and 77, a villainous sorcerer named the Silver Dagger stole Clea's soul, causing her to revert to her natural Faltine form. When Doctor Strange tried to stop the Silver Dagger and win her soul back, Clea attacked him with a bombardment of evil spells that he was only barely able to hold back. This demonstration of pure rage and uncontrolled power shows just how deadly of a sorcerer Clea is. And who knows what she would have gone on to do if Strange hadn't been able to stop her with the power of love. While I can't really see Silver Dagger appearing in the MCU, I would love to see the story of Clea's corruption adapted for Doctor Strange 3. Maybe with Dormammu as the culprit behind it instead. It'd be fun to basically give Doctor Strange his own Dark Phoenix saga, and fans of Marvel's mystical side have been asking for another showdown with Dormammu for years. Alternatively, thanks to the fact that Strange now has that evil third eye, we very well could see both him and Clea possessed by dark magic, having to work together to break free and defeat whatever's trying to control them. And remember kids, all this terrible stuff never would have happened to Doctor Strange if he just didn't text and drive all those years ago. Turns out the MCU's actually just been a 14-year-long distracted driving PSA. Who would have thought? Hey there folks, I'm Matt Sonnack. I made this video and I hope I was able to teach you at least a little bit about Clea's powers and abilities. Let me know in the comments which power you're most excited to see her use in the MCU, and if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching!